Before I was working in politics, I used to run a charity, and I worked with some of the most marginalised people in our communities, people who couldn't heat their homes, who couldn't feed their children, who had no carpets on their floors or food in their fridges. And when it comes to power and who has the power, I was working with some of the people who had the least power in this nation. And so when we think about devolution, we also need to think about how we really devolve power down to the people that matter, the people on the front line of our public services, the people who are working as key workers in retail and in social care. When we think about the mums who are struggling to get their children to school, their voices currently aren't often heard. And at the same time, our economic growth strategies, and we've had a lot of slogans over the last 13 years, levelling up, take back control. But the big society. But the reality is we are seeing more inequalities, we're seeing more poverty, we're not seeing levelling up, we're often seeing levelling down. So for Labour and the left to get this right is fundamentally important, because I believe that if we can get power imbalances sorted, if we can change who holds the power in this nation, giving it back to workers on the front line, giving it back to our communities, giving it back to local government leaders, giving it back to the people who understand their communities, then that's the foundation and the bedrock for how we rebuild this nation. We rebuild this nation from the bottom up, is what I believe.